Good morning. Welcome to my market analysis for 18th of June, Thursday. Yesterday there was uh, FOMC economic projections and statement, due to which we get to see this big candle to the upside. So the news was positive for dollar, and we eventually hit the target that we were expecting for the price to hit. So now the next projection for me will be this. But because yesterday was such a huge expansion day, I'm expecting price to stay in this area for today. And then tomorrow I can wait for the sweep of the low and then trade it to this. So what I'm expecting is on 4 hour for the price to make a double bottom like this and then reach to this level. Uh, this for today, it's after such a big expansion day, like for example, this it's such a big expansion day. After this, it's always better to wait for a small candle and then we can trade from there. Market rarely continues in the direction after such a big expansion day because it needs some rest. So that's why today I'll be waiting for a pullback candle or a small candle, and then tomorrow I can trade the sweep. If I don't get a setup on sweep, then that will be my C2, and then I can trade C3 on Monday. So my bias is bullish, but no trade setup for today. Also, as we can see, let's go on weekly. This is such a big level. This one price just keeps coming here, going down, coming here, going down, coming here, going. So it's it's been 441. It's been more than a year that DXY is stuck in this range. So price will have a really difficulty crossing this level to the upside. It could cross if there is some really positive news for dollar. Let's say the current positive news for dollar would be uh, either if America won the Iran war that's going on, or Fed um, drops the interest rate. So we need a really big fundamental news in order for the dollar to break this. So keeping the fundamentals aside, for tomorrow, that's my projection for dollar index. For AU, since last week, I'm expecting price to sweep this strong swing and eventually reach this weak swing and then break to the downside and uh, sweep this and this. So the best thing again here that I can do is the price has to keep this FPG. If the candle, if today's candle goes up to this and there is no FPG, then I cannot trade tomorrow. I want the price to stay in this level. Sorry, I want the price to stay in this level, and I want the next candle to sweep it, and then I can trade till this. So it really depends on these 17 and a half hours if the current candle will make an FPG or not. I can only trade if it makes an FPG. If it does not, I cannot short it. EJ eventually hit the weak swing. Again, news drove it pretty to the really good to the downside because the news was positive for dollar index. So EU GU will be dumped by a lot. So that's why Euro JPY it dumped by a lot. Again, it's such a big expansion candle. There's nothing that I can do here. So the best move will be wait for price to make an FPG today. Let's say this candle closes like this in 17 and a half hours. I can wait for sweep of this. I can go on 4 hour There must be a swing point. If there is no swing point, then I cannot trade this. Then I need to wait for daily C2 and then I can trade C3. And these lows will be my targets. It's in a range right now. I cannot see the trend. But if I look at weekly time frame, what I can see is price on the weekly time frame sweep this. There was such a strong candle to the downside a whole week. Then there was an FPG. We are staying in FPG. And then yesterday we sweep this. So on weekly time frame, I'm expecting price to go lower to these level, to these, and eventually to this. So uh, I'm expecting price to reach here. Fucking. So my weekly targets will be these. Of course, it will take maybe a month or something to reach here, but if I look at weekly time frame and then I go to my daily time frame, it makes sense. This is such a big FPG. But the price is not really going up by a lot. So I'm really bearish on uh, Euro JPY. But for my intraday trading setup, I can't just sell here and keep my stop loss here. That's why I need today to make an FPG, and tomorrow I can either trade the sweep if 4 hour provides me uh, with a swing point. If it does not, then wait for a C2 and then trade a C3. Moving on to Euro USD. Euro USD eventually hit the lows that I was expecting it to hit. It will be a big swing. Again, I'll still, even if it's a big swing, that does not mean that price won't go down. It's really easy for price to break weak swings. That's why I specifically mention if it's a weak swing or if it's a strong swing. Price will have a lot of difficulty to break a strong swing, but a weak swing, price can break it easily. So I'm expecting today, because yesterday was such a big expansion, there's no way, even if it's C2, C3, even if it's from a POI, there's no way I will trade this ever. So it's better for the price to make a C2 here. Then if I get a swing point on a 4 hour, then I can trade like this. If I don't get a C2 swing point on 4 hour, then I'll wait for a C2 and then I can trade C3. There are no really targets for me here. This will be a target and this will be a target. But yeah, I can easily grab a 2 hour or 3 hour from here tomorrow. You, GJ, it's in a range right now. And in a range, both will be considered as weak swings. So the thing here is price did not sweep this high yet. So even if it's giving the same setup, it did not sweep this high. I cannot trade this tomorrow. I need to write it down here so I don't forget. No sweep of highs. That is no POI. Cannot trade. So here I'll wait for price to either sweep this or either sweep this or give me something in the middle. There is also no CIST, so it's just a range. It's just a it's it's a range like this. So there's no good setup here for GU. Huh. GU is obviously in a downtrend. It already swept this weak swing, and we have an FPG, and we also have a CIST here. Why is it a CIST? Because it's the first bearish candle and price sweep its high and close back below this level. So it's a CIST. So again, same as EU. Yesterday's candle was such a big expansion candle. So cannot trade today. Today I'll wait for a C2. Sorry, today I'll wait for a sweep of this high, and then if I get a swing high here, then I can trade it. Or I'll wait for a C2. So same as EU. You can. I don't see any setup. It's just a big candle high. Again, same. If today I get a candle like this, which has a swing and also there is an FPG, then tomorrow I can wait for price in 4 hours to sweep it and then trade to the upside. If I don't get this setup, then wait for a C2 and then I can trade C3. It eventually reached the weak swing I was hoping it to reach, but again, almost all all the pairs are making the um, same type of situation. I'll wait for this candle to close here, then sweep of this candle's low, and then trade to the upside. For that, 4R needs to make a swing point. It needs to be easily visible though. It's really important. If I don't get a swing point here, I'll wait for a C2 and then trade on Monday. Did we hit it? Yes, we eventually hit this one. I don't see any reaction. I was expecting for price to react out of this. Okay, for this again, if I get FPG, if this candle stays like this and I get a 4 hour swing point, then I can trade from here. Sorry, tomorrow the candle opens, sweeps this, taps into FPG. I will enter here and this candle goes to the upside. And then after tomorrow I can trade as well. Why? Because it's a POI, it's an FPG plus C2. Gold. Gold tap into this bear FPG. It sweep the strong swing. I get a C2. It's and the weak swing is open. It's bearish. We have a PY. We have actually two PYs. We have a strong swing sweep and we have a FPG. We have a C2 close. On 4 hour, we have a change in state of delivery and we have an FPG. So in 1 hour, 15 minutes, if this candle either closes like a C2 or it shows me that there is bearish momentum, how there's bearish enough momentum, I will short it. How can I confirm the bearish momentum if the 15-minute makes lower lows and lower highs? So it confirms that there's bearish momentum. So the only pair for today is gold. The only thing I'm worried about is in yesterday's video, I also talked about this, is this gap. Maybe it filled the gap and it closed back in. But again, if I don't take this trade just because it filled the gap and closed back in, it does not fit my rules. So I'll be taking this trade if this candle or next candle, any candle that shows me signs of bearish momentum from this FPG, I'll be taking that. So only like gold for today. For all of the other pairs, the best situation for tomorrow's trade will be FPG. We get a candle, we get a sweep of that candle, we enter and then trade to the upside. But the important thing is I need a really good swing point. So what I mean is I'll show a swing point and an FVG like this. So it sweeps, tap into FVG, swing point, and then trade up. FVG, a swing point, tap into FVG, and then trade up. And FVG, a swing point, tap into FVG, and trade up. I need a setup like this. So that's all for today. I'll be only looking to short gold. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you and have a nice day.